What's going on, guys? It's Groove back with another chapter from Bitcoin, Everything Divided by 21 Million. Now, in this chapter, we're going to go over symbiosis. This chapter is probably one of my favorites because it talks about how you are your Bitcoin and your Bitcoin is you. Every other asset on this planet, it is not of you. It is not you. Your house is not you. Your stocks are not you. You don't really own your stocks. You don't own your house. Like, it is, you have it, but it's not a part of you. And when Bitcoin, it's pretty much like that Spider-Man movie. I forgot which one it was, but the scene where he was trying to pull that black suit off of him and then it kept like trying to attach back to him. Like, that is pretty much what Bitcoin is like. You are your Bitcoin. When you have Bitcoin and you put it into your cold storage wallet, so now your Bitcoin is your private keys, which I hope everybody who's buying Bitcoin is getting a cold storage wallet. But your Bitcoin becomes you. You become your 12 or 24 words. And that's so powerful that at any moment you can have $1 billion of value in your head and you could just pick up and leave. Like, if anything bad happens, you don't have to try to hurry up and sell your stocks or sell your real estate. You can just pick up you and your family and get out of Dodge, and all of your value is with you. You are your value. And that's like the first time, this is the first time that you've ever been able to do that. Like, you and your value are one. And this is so like mind-bending when you think about it. Every other piece of asset that you've ever been able to have, whether it be a house or stocks or gold, whatever it can all be taken from you. It's really hard to move. Somebody can rob you. Somebody can just confiscate it. You know, if you're trying to leave the country with a certain amount of money, they can just take the money. You can't just leave with suitcases full of money. They're going to be like, no, we're not letting you leave with that. But this is the first time when you can just get out of Dodge with all of your value in your head. It's kind of wild. So again, going back to that symbiosis, you are your Bitcoin and your Bitcoin is you. And another part of this symbiosis, as far as the Bitcoin being you, when you pass on, your Bitcoin goes with you. That is so crucial. Like, this is the first time that that's ever been able to be a thing. Like, when you die, your Bitcoin dies. Like, I remember I was just watching this news report where this old man had passed on and somebody came in claiming to be the family member. It was like, yeah, that was my father. And so they took the father's property, they took all the items inside the house and they sold the entire thing. And then the family came by and was like, wait a minute, hold up. We don't know who that person is. That's not part of the family, but they sold all of our father's stuff. And then, you know, the government was like, well, there's nothing we can do about it. Like, it's all gone now. That person sold it and they cashed out and they moved on. Like, and there was nothing they can do. And so again, when you have things, they're not necessarily attached to you, and so anybody can just take it at any time. Even when you pass on, somebody else can just come around and just claim your stuff. With Bitcoin, again, you can take it to the grave with you. If you don't pass it on to anybody else, nobody can get it. And that's the first time we've been able to say that with an asset. It's pretty like groundbreaking. You know, you are your Bitcoin. It's not just a separate item that you can have. It is you. Another thing that happens with living with a symbiotic relationship with your Bitcoin just goes up over time. Like, yeah, it may be volatile, but it's like volatile up and to the right. Like, it just goes up forever. This lets you change your time preference. Like, you think of time differently. Like, you're not just thinking of next week, you're thinking of 5, 10, 15 years out. And you can only do this when you own something that just goes up over time. You stop making short-term decisions. You stop thinking very short-term. When you can put your time and energy and effort and money into something that just goes up over time, it allows you to see further into the future. And also, another thing that he talks about when it comes to time preference and being able to see further into the future, he says that makes you like a better person. It makes you more, he said it brings civility. So because you're able to plan for the future or see further into the future, you're able to make better decisions today. So anybody with a very high time preference, which means that it's very short, they make worse decisions, because if you're only thinking until next week, you're not going to make better decisions in your life for yourself or your family. That happens when you're living in a fiat system. It's always, how am I going to make it till next week? How am I going to make it till next payday? But when you're putting all of your time, energy, and money into an item like Bitcoin, which just goes up over time, you're allowed to see into the future, so you make better decisions today about life. So that's pretty much it for this chapter. It was a pretty short chapter, but at the same time, I just thought it was like groundbreaking, because again, a lot of people, when they think of Bitcoin, they're just like, oh, I'm just going to buy it. The price is going to go up and then I'll sell it for more dollars. But this is the first asset that you can actually own that is you. Like when you self-custody it, which I suggest everybody does, because the price of this thing is just going up forever. And also there's only a limited amount of it. Like that is the number one thing. So, you know, they're never making any more. So if you're going to custody it into your own cold storage wallet, it becomes you. You are your Bitcoin. Your Bitcoin is you. You can't say that about any other asset on this planet. So I just think that that was definitely kind of mind-blowing when you have to sit there and think like, wait a minute, this isn't just something that I have in my pocket. No, it is you. You are your Bitcoin. Yeah, that's pretty, it's definitely something to think about. That's pretty much it for this video. Go ahead and hit a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in that next one. Peace.